Hi guys, on today's video, going to be making some rocks for a post-apocalyptic landscape. Something that would fit into gaslands or stargrave. And to start with, we're going to grab some styrofoam, cut it into rectangles and bevel the edge so we have a very kind of rounded pyramid shape. We're then going to mount this on a foam core base. So I made this by grabbing an offcut of foam core and again beveling the edge so it blends more naturally into the table. Then with a sculpting tool, I'm going to poke a hole in the top and twist it around to make it a bit wider. Then going around the edge, I'm going to score some kind of thick grooves into the edges so we can make some kind of bluffs on the edge of the rock. So once you've cut all the way down with the grooves, we're just going to take our hands and squeeze the styrofoam all over. This will compress it and make it a bit more rounded and natural. And then with a pencil or the edge of a sculpting tool, we're going to roll that, get rid of any of the hard edges and make it a bit kind of softer and doughier. And then do the same with a smaller spire that will sit next to the base. So this is going to be one of those kind of like termite mound type things. Maybe there's some kind of gas coming out of them, like a toxic waste landscape. So they can be used in any kind of fantasy or sci-fi world. And then another little baby stack on the side. So depending on how you cut the initial rectangles, you can get some ones that are curved or bent over, or some ones that are fatter at the bottom or the top. Really just do whatever you want with these. And once we've got a few stacks that we're happy with, we're going to bulk up the foam core base a bit, so beveling another piece, how I did for the very bottom part. And we're going to go over this with Sculpting mold in a minute, so it's just a lot easier to build up some of the bulk using foam core and styrofoam. And using hot glue to attach that all together. If you wanted, you could have the spires poking out at weird angles, you could have them all poking upwards, and use an offcut of styrofoam to bulk up the base, and then just a bit of hot glue to fill the gap between one of the spires. Then we're going to mix up some Sculpting mold, about 1 part to 1 part water, and this we're going to use to add some bulk to the base and blend it in to the ground. So just smear that all over the base and on the bottom portions of the towers. So if there's any gaps, you can use it to cover them up. Or if you broke any of the styrofoam, you can also use that to plug the gap here. Now if you want it to be smoother, you can wait until it's partially dry, give it about 10-20 minutes, then wet your finger and you can just smooth the entire base. You'll get a lovely, nice smooth finish. And make sure you work it between the spires as well, if you have multiple. Now I had a bit too much Sculpting mold, so I quickly knocked up another 2 spires and made a second piece. Then with a mixture of fine cork flock and some small gravel pieces. And we're going to mix that with PVA glue, and we're going to make a nice kind of basing paste that we can use to add some texture to them. You can really affect the consistency and the effect of the basing paste by altering what materials you use. Using different kind of grades of finer cork can get a much smoother finish, whereas using the bigger pieces of gravel, you get a much kind of bumpier look to it. So if you wanted to replicate the effect of sand, you could probably just use the extra fine cork, whereas I wanted to have a bit of kind of aridness and kind of gravel and pebbliness to it, so I added the stones to make it a bit lumpier and have a bit more kind of sticking out texture. Then priming all the pieces with black gesso, and make sure you hit all the gaps so you don't want any blue or white poking out through the end. You can also mix some black gesso into the basing paste, which is a good way to fill any gaps. Then taking some kind of mid-brown paint, we're just going to give the entire thing a base coat. Now, this looks quite reddish brown, but it dries down to a much more muted tone. And then with that same brown paint, we're going to mix in some white, make a lighter shade of tan, and we're going to give the things another coat all over. Not quite as heavy as the base coat though. We want to make a nice gradient of browns, building up from a darker colour to a light one, and we want to keep it all in the same hue, so we'll just be using the same brown paint throughout. And make sure you catch the ridges on the spires. And this is where, if you use a grittier basing paste, it will really pick the details out. Then, adding even more white, so we're going very light with this, we're going to add just a top highlight. So we want to catch the very tops of the piece, and any bits that are showing straight upwards. And we're going to go relatively light with how we do this coat. And it will dry to a more muted looking colour. So if it looks too bright on when you're putting it on, you can either hit it with a dark wash or just let it dry, and then don't panic because it's still wet and it looks bright white. And then again, just hitting the top portions. And there you have it. It fits in well with any kind of scale, because rocks can be any size you want them to be. Got a 28mm model and the gaslands car I made there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.